Hey students, in this video I'm going to go over the 7.2 notes for those of you who were absent or those of you who needed to rewatch how to do this. Alright, so I'll go over the number 1 and 3 first, and then I'll let you practice 2 and 4. Okay, so this topic is parallelograms, and we have in the notes here that parallelograms are a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So if you notice right here, these two sides are parallel to each other, opposite of each other, and then these as well are parallel to each other, and they're opposite of each other. The relationships that happen with that is that, one, opposite sides are congruent. So if you look at right here, number 15 is labeled for this side. So that means that opposite side will also be 15. Then you have the number 8 being labeled for this side, and that means opposite side is also 8. So that's what that first statement is saying, that opposite sides are congruent. And opposite angles are congruent as well. So like right here, you have the angle 68, and then the opposite angle to that is this one. So that will also be 68 degrees. The other statement is that consecutive angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So for example, this angle 68 is given, but this angle is not. But these two are next to each other, so they are supplementary, they add up to 180. And we can just subtract 180 minus 68, and that gives you 112. And that means this angle is 112 degrees. So when we look at adding them, whether you go 68 plus 112, you get 180. And then if you go 112 plus 68, same thing, 180. And then if you go 68 plus something is 180, then you just notice that they're opposite of each other. So that backs up the previous statement. The last one is that diagonals bisect each other. So this one's a little confusing for some students because they think that angles are bisected as well, but no, only the diagonal. So for example, right here, we have a diagonal, and this part is labeled 7. So that means this side and this side are congruent because this other angle is bisecting that the diagonal. So this diagonal bisects this diagonal, cuts it in half, vice versa. Okay, so then now with those relationships, you just apply the missing values or calculate what's missing and annotate what they're asking you to find. So for example, right here, AD is this part, and we mentioned it was the opposite of 8. DC is this side, and that's the opposite of 15. Measure of angle A was calculated by 68, and consecutive angle will be 180, so 68 and 112 is 180. And that's, again, the math behind it. Angle B is this one, and it's opposite of the ones given, so that's 68 because they're congruent. And then angle C is opposite of that one, or also supplementary to that one, so that's 112 as well. All right, so number 2 is similar to that. Try it on your own, and if you need me to check your answer, just let me know in class. Number 3, we have these diagonals, again, like I said, section crossing each other, so they're bisecting, so 7 and 7. This one says RT equals 30, so RT is the whole thing, which means that these two are equal to each other. So we can assume that this is 15 and 15. And the sides, again, opposite of each other, 27 and 27 down here, and then 18 and 18 across. So UT is this one on the bottom, and that's 27. ST is this one on the side, so that's 18. And then we have VS. VS is this little section right here, so that will be 7. And then VT, which is this section right here, labeled already for us, and that one was 15. So try number 4, pause the video, and then check your work. All right, I'm gonna just clarify a couple of things on number 4. When students were answering this, they got a little bit confused because of the angles. So I'm gonna just fill in the blanks. DEC. DEC is this angle right here. This angle is not given, but you are given the statement of measure of angle FED is 134. FED is the whole thing. So you gotta do 134 minus 71. And that will give you, let's see, 134, that's 63. So this part right here is 63. So DEC is 63. Then you have CDE, CDE, which is the whole thing right here. The whole thing is a consecutive angle to angle E. So angle D and E are consecutive. They add up to 180. We're going to do 180 minus 134 because the other angle already equals 134. So 180 minus 134 is 46. So angle D, the whole thing right here, is 46 degrees. If they want CDE, CDE, that's the whole thing. So 46. All right, next we have ECD. ECD, which is this part right here. And on this one, I had to explain to some students how if this is a parallel line compared to this one, then you have this transversal crossing it. You have a relationship between this angle and this angle. These two are on the opposite side of the transversal crossing the parallel line, so that means they're congruent. So this is 71 degrees. Then you have the last one, DFE. DFE, which is this little part right here. And some students wanted to think that that was 21 because it looks like it's bisecting it, but it's not, because when you look across, once again, you have another transversal. You have this line being transversal to the parallel lines, creating alternate interior from this 21 to this 21 right here. And if this is 21 and the whole thing was 46, then we will have to do 46 minus 21, and that will give you 25. So you can look at it both ways, where this whole thing is 46, so across from it is 46, part of it is 21, and the remaining missing part is 25, so that will be the answer here. Okay, hopefully that clarified a couple of misconceptions. Number 5 is now, or you label a parallelogram based on the information given. So XY is 15, WX right here at the top, that's 22, ZW, it's 32, no wait, ZX. So the whole thing right here, I'll just color it, all of this is 32. So that means, again, they're bisecting each other. These are equal, so we have 16 and 16. And we have WT, which is 10. WT is just this part right here, so that's 10, and then the other part will be also 10. WZY is an angle of 62 degrees. WZY, it's the whole thing. So that, all that is 62 degrees. Then you have WXT, which is 27. WXT, which is this part right here. That will be only 27. And then the last one is ZWT, which is 77. ZWT, right here, 77. All right, so that's the information given. I know it's a little bit hard to see all the labels, but that's pretty much what you got to work with. So we have ZW. ZW is opposite of 15. So this is 15 as well. And then you have ZY. ZY is this bottom part, so it's 22 because it's across from that 22. Then you have TX. Tx is this part only, and we had already labeled that it's half of 32, so it's 16. And then wy. Wy is the whole thing across, that's 10 and 10, which is 20. Okay, after that we have tzy. Tzy, so this part right here. Alternate interior as mentioned above, parallel lines, transversal, so alternate interior angles, that will be 27 degrees. Then you have x, y, z. X, y, z, the whole thing right here. Over here, the whole thing was 62, so now we do 180 minus 62, and that will give us the whole thing. Okay, that would be 118. So the whole thing is 118 degrees. Then you have xwt, which is this part. And then alternate interior here, we're looking for this part, and 77 is this angle. So if 118 is the whole thing, we'll do 118 minus 77, and that will give you 41. 41 is this missing angle right here, and also right here, 41. I know the 10 is confusing and all that, but the 10 was part of the diagonal. So to answer the question of xwt, we're going to say it's 41. Last part is xyt. Xyt, which was this part, and alternate interior, we had that was 77. Okay, so number 6, please try it on your own. And if you need to check your answers, just pause the video, and then I'll give you the answers for number 2 and number 6 to check. All right, so the answers you could have gotten if you did the math correctly would have been 56 degrees for that one, and 124 for that one, 34 for that one, 101, you have 67, 57, 22, and 67. And again, if you didn't get any of these answers, or if you didn't get some of these answers correct, you can always talk to me in class and I'll help you clarify. For number 2, the answers was 21, 29, 127, 53 degrees, and then 53 degrees. Okay, I'll make another video for the next part of the notes if you would like to watch that one as well.